Now, as part of a new Market Watch segment here on Connect the World, we are highlighting business as well as technology projects in the Middle East impacting global markets. Today, we're kicking off with the latest UAE company to go public in an industry most of us living and working and driving in busy cities know very well. Paid parking, as long as there are cars, we will need the spaces, a strong foundation for the park-in company business model. The Dubai government will soon sell a 24.99% stake, so almost 25% stake in Parkin. It's the Emirates' first privatization deal this year, but it comes after a flood of regional IPOs in 2023. The UAE and its Gulf Cooperation Council neighbors drumming up capital through more and more private international investments. That GCC, led by Saudi Arabia, produced almost $11 billion in proceeds from IPOs in 2023. That number coming from data collected by Kamco Invest. It is a Kuwaiti-based firm. Thomas Mathew is the Vice President of Investment Strategy and Research there. He joins me now from Kuwait City. Thomas, really good to see you. Look, if I look at that 2023 number in terms of IPOs, over $10 billion, it is quite big. But I want you to give me a sense of whether this is repeatable in the year ahead. And of course, starting off with this IPO that we saw here in the UAE.
Thanks for having me, Eleni. Definitely active days here in the GCC IPO markets. In 2023, what we've seen is a significant activity in the IPO market. We had around 46 issuances in the primary issuances, and like you mentioned, about $11 billion of issuance proceeds that were amassed from these IPOs. I think there's a bit more details in there. You had a great showing in terms of sectoral participation. You had around 13 sectors participating, and right across these business models, you had both small and big IPOs featuring in these markets right across the region. And like 2022, Saudi was the main market in terms of issuance numbers, and you had UAE, which was the dominant market in terms of issuance proceeds.
So, Thomas, I'm curious to know the play between. I'm curious to know the play between, government-led IPOs, so state-owned enterprises privatizing parts of their business and wanting to go public, versus multinational companies and private-owned institutions going and listing on the market.
I think it's always been a mix, Eleni, between these two segments of the market. I think what the government-owned enterprises have done to the market is they come and stabilize this market for the IPO market. And you find these companies, they do not come with short operating histories. They come with significant operating histories, and they come with a strong balance sheet. You find them giving out a significant amount of their earnings as dividends, really solidifying the market in terms of providing a backbone for the IPO market in the GCC. In terms of expectations for this year, I think at the start of the year, we did some study and we found that there was around 28 to 30 companies which are in the pipeline, right from, let's say, rumored to sort of mandated. And if anything, if history is to go by, we're definitely going to see a similar sort of showing like 2023 and 2024 as well. So these are definitely happy landings for IPO market.
So, Thomas, I mean, in terms of sort of the options that institutional investors have at a global level, will they be looking at GCC markets and going, we want to be heavily exposed into what the UAE is doing, in terms of what Saudi is doing? Are we seeing that kind of liquidity coming through from foreign investors?
Sure, I think foreign investors into the region are going to get their share in 2024 as well, with great dividend plays that are expected to come to the market, and also some idiosyncratic businesses in technology, healthcare, pharma, which really do not have peers globally. So therefore, they definitely will look at these businesses, and it's going to be a combination, and they can probably pick from the whole variety of options that are there in the market right across geographies within the GCC as well. So it's really going to be a market where you find a lot of options, especially for international investors who really are looking for dollar-pegged returns and also dollar-pegged dividend yields.
Yeah. So, Thomas, I want to talk about the geopolitical environment in this region. I want to talk about the oil price. I mean, we're seeing issues in the Red Sea. There are so many things that people are going to be looking at closely. To what extent does that impact regional markets?
I think global geopolitics, interest rates, oil prices are all important. Nevertheless, I think secondary market valuations are what are key for IPOs and valuations, so that these issuers feel confident enough to bring their stories and their businesses to the market and get that valuation. So for us, I think the most key is the secondary market valuations, and which we've seen from the start of the year. The markets have been stable. I think the MSCI GCC is up about 3 to 4%. So I think it's stable ground for issuances to come to the market as well. And
Thomas, Mathew, great to see you. Thank you so much. Great to have you on the show with us today.